My name is Aaron, and I'm going to be teaching the deep stretches. So the deep stretches are a very important exercise for Graham because it has all the major principal qualities of Graham in it. It has the contraction, the release, the spiral, and the lean. It's also the exercise where we introduce the cupped hands, which the cupped hand is essentially like our spine. It is a contraction of the hand. And the best way to find it is if you place your hand on the floor and you try to scoop the earth up in your palm, and then you have a contraction, you have a cupped hand. And so we have that in the deep stretches. So the deep stretches, they start in second, feet pointed, and your arms are at a 90-degree angle facing the front. And you want to feel not soft arms, but not overly tense arm, but you want strong base, like wings pressing down in the air, like you're about to take flight. And so the exercise is split up into four two counts, and it's a 2-count contraction, a 2-count deep contraction, a 2-count release, and a 2-count return. And so what that means is, I'll show you from the side. So first we're in our second position, and we start with our 2-count contraction. And so the hands extend, they cup as the spine contracts and the head goes up. And then in 2 counts we deepen the contraction going over, making sure not to collapse and not just stretch forward, but from the contraction we maintain the contraction, maintain the space in our center. And then in 2 counts we release forward in a pitch, arms return to their original position, and then we return back to center for 2 counts. And you repeat that through the center, through the left, and through the right. And when you go to the sides, you add the spiral. So from the front, it's going to look 1 and 2, deepen, 2 and 2, and I'm going to go to the right, but you go to the left first, spiral. So you shift from the pelvis first, and then you spiral and lean off 3-2, and then you return 4-2. You return in the spiral position, and the contraction brings you back to center, and then you repeat to the other side. Okay, and with the deep stretches, there are 4 variations, 4 developments, and so first development, the arms are here in second. The second development, the arms make a diamond shape over the head, and so then when you contract, instead of going back to here, you make this sort of iconic Graham position, where the shoulders, the elbows and the shoulders, they flip forward, and you have the cupped hand. So from the side, that's going to look like, with our hands in the diamond, as we contract, everything comes forward. You want to try to get this as high as possible, and then you deepen the contraction, maintaining that position. And then you release out, going back into the diamond, and then you come back up. And then you do the same thing to the spiral on the first side. And so you go back to the diamond position, making sure you're spiraling over your leg and leaning off, and then you return. So you do that to all sides. And then third development, the arms start in a V, but they still go to the same position that they went in the second development for the contraction. And then the fourth development, we bring our feet in the contraction, and you just keep your hands on your ankles, and you go center, left, and right. Well, for me, right and left, so I can mirror you. And yeah, and so that is the deep stretches. It's a longer exercise, but it's one of the key, most important exercises in the Graham floor work, I feel. So I'm going to put some music on, and we'll do it together. So starting in second position, arms in second. Ready? And 1, 2, deep in two, release, two, return, two, and contract, two, deepen, two, and spiral, two, return, and contract, two, and deepen, two, and spiral, two, second development, and one, two, ten, release, two, four, two, one, two, spiral, two, pull that left shoulder back, and one, two, and two, and three, two, third development, and one, two, and two, and three, two, return, spiral, and one, two, release and spiral, and contract, and deep, and release, and return, feet together on the contraction, and contract, more, release, return, and contract, deepen, release, return, and contract, deepen, release, and done.
This exercise is known as the deep stretches, and it's probably the most iconic and most famous of all of the Martha Graham exercises on the floor. It works the contraction against a very, very wide spread of the legs, and it's done in 4 different variations. So the dancer here is doing the first development, which is with the arms pressing down on the air. You're going to see that he releases to his right first and then to his left side. This now here comes the second development of the exercise where the arms are held in a diamond position. And then on the contraction, it's a very difficult movement because the elbows want to stay as high as possible. So really what is happening is that you are working your back against the lift of the elbows into the sky. It's really almost like doing a chin-up or a pull-up using all of the muscles in your back. Here is the third development. The arms are wide, and once again, the elbows want to stay up as long as possible as the dancer takes his contraction. Once again, all the way up to the sky, over to the earth, and then he releases into the spiral, and then increasing the spiral as he comes back. Once again, contraction, and deepen to go over, and release, and then spiral to come back. This is the fourth development with the soles of the feet together. It allows the dancer to make a very, very, very deep contraction because no longer are the legs spread wide, but they're held with the soles of the feet together. And so you can concentrate very much on what your back is doing and increasing the spiral to come back. Last one, last contraction, last release onto the spiral, and last return in spiral, and the exercise is complete.
And so that is the deep stretches in the Graham technique. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you got something out of it.